Um, day something. I'm gonna stop saying the day because I don't remember anymore. Um, whew, I feel like it's really weird. It's really wild. It's like the other day I had such a great day and felt so connected to everything. And it's like you're it's almost like working out. Like you're working out the mind or something. So with this whole spiritual awakening thing, it's like realizing that you're not the mind, that you have a mind, that you're consciousness, but you almost need to but you're still taming the mind because the mind and the ego keep trying to tell you, it's this, trying to make put labeling things and saying it's almost like it's going like at high speed because it's trying to control. Um, so I've been finding that so that the day that I felt really connected to everything, it was like um last night and today, like this morning, it started to my mind was just going crazy. It's almost like it's just freaking out because it's like losing control. As I don't know if that makes sense. So so I'm realizing a lot of the stuff keeps it starts to kind of re-stir up. Um but understand, I notice that it's just the mind. A lot of these, when going through this process and getting to this point, I feel like I can't communicate as well or something because this experience is so much not about what a lot of people think it is. I don't know. You talk about spiritual awakening and everyone goes to the hippy dippy shit, oh, your crystals and all this stuff. It's so not that. I don't know. So anyways, for those of you who really understand Dark Night of the Soul, ego death and all that stuff, it's really wild when you really kind of get to the other side of it and you really recognize what your mind is just, it's losing control, and the real you, the consciousness, is becoming more aware and remembering what it is, and therefore um it's like you are able to control your mind more, but the mind doesn't like that, so it's like finding other things to kind of freak out about. So I'll give you an example. So all of my fears, all the things that um they just kind of start bouncing around more, start stirring up. So fear of being forgotten, or fear of being alone for the rest of my life, or not having companionship, or yeah, a lot of that, losing people, or um which is also weird because it's also but I need this alone time, but I don't know, it's just a strange thing. um so I'm noticing that, but just the fears that have kind of come alive more. But it's not so much that I'm feeling them as much as I'm noticing that the mind is trying to manifest and trigger that, so that I almost get sucked back into the ego mindset, the ego self, instead of staying in consciousness. It's really wild. It's like it's losing control. I can almost think of it as like a computer. Like your computer is just going crazy. You know, you're trying to clean it out or whatever, and or delete things, and then it stalls, and it I don't know, freezes or something. And maybe that was a bad example. So anyways, this is my experience right now, is that I feel like I'm kind of getting to the other side of this ego death or whatever, and like my mind, the mind, is arguing with me about that because it wants me to stay in that, to stay there. It wants me to be there. It's just really crazy. What are some of your fears? I'm curious about other people. Like, I know what mine are and what my patterns have been. A lot of them revolve around abandonment or um being controlled. Um yeah, and I kind of tossle between the two. So it's like I fear I fear not having companionship um in some way, but then I also fear having companionship and then it being controlling or not spiritual or not um that kind of a thing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. How are you? We're always talking about me. How the fuck are you? My God. This vlog is such a weird thing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for tuning in. I'm it's still just such a wild thing to do, but I'm grateful you're here. So thank you. Wow.